Maybe later, I think. Once we start. Hi everyone, this is Pawan here from the Sports Breakdown. Sorry for not coming live yesterday, but due to cow cuts in Sri Lanka and everything's going on, so I unfortunately was also busy yesterday, so I couldn't cover the Sunrisers versus Rajasthan. But we'll be covering that game. But today, first of all, we'll give focus on the Royal Challengers Bangalore versus KKR match. We have Sitanshu here. And yeah, what a thriller. I mean, actually, it went to the final over. We never expected RCB to struggle for this 129 chase, but good captaincy from Shiraz overall to make it to a last over. But your thoughts on this whole match, and especially Vanidu's spell today, 4 for 24 overs, very very good spell indeed, and man of the match performance also. So your thoughts on that first innings from KKR, 128 all out. I didn't even expect that happening to a side like KKR having a good batting crow.
Yeah, I mean the early breakthrough that they got, like RCB, the breakthroughs that they made in the beginning itself in the power play that set KKR back, I think. So that was like the key role which was there. And also, I think, I mean, you see Russell coming down so low at the in the batting order. That was a bit surprising as well.
Yeah.
Of course, like we have seen him play spin and all, where like we have seen
Mm.
him explode even in the middle. But yeah, maybe they went for like the experience. And Sunil Narayan coming in at like number 5.
Five.
That was a
It's a
bit,
surprise.
yeah.
Yeah, I also don't get with KKR's order. They need to sort out a bit because I mean Narayan batting ahead of Russell, then Narayan should open with Venkatesh Iyer. Then I mean Narayan can open with Rahane because I mean Venkatesh Iyer can even bat in the middle. We have seen that for India, he can bat in the middle, and if he's not successful as a opener, I mean first two matches okay. Not I mean you have to give him a deeper run obviously, but if Narayan is batting at number 5 and is batting ahead of Sam Billings, Sheldon Jackson, Andre Russell, I really don't get this KKR order because I mean, if Narayan's batting high up, he should either open or bat at number 3. It doesn't make sense for me why he's batting in the middle order because I don't think he has the adaptability or even has the capability of batting anywhere in the batting order compared to these other batsmen. That's what I have to argue on this KKR batting lineup right now.
I mean, the only logic I feel that KKR might be going for would be the left and right hand combination, if at all that's what they were thinking. Because, like, if you see the
But
fall of wickets, like, can you
yeah,
just scroll down to the fall of wickets? So
yeah,
we had
sure, yeah.
Rahane and Iyer opening left and right hand. So the
Yeah.
first one to go was Venkatesh Iyer.
Venkatesh,
So one
14 for
down
1.
came in Nitish Rana.
Hmm.
Nitish Rana was one down, right? I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ah, no, no,
Or
no,
was
no.
it
Sorry, Shreyas
Shreyas Iyer?
Iyer. Sorry, Shreyas Iyer.
Shreyas
Yeah.
Iyer. Okay, yeah. So Shreyas Iyer comes in.
So there were
So that
two
was basically right
right-handers.
and right hand. So that was two
Yeah,
right handers then. Then
yeah.
after the fall of Rahane, then came in
Then Nitish
Nitish
Rana.
Rana. So again a left hand, right hand. And then Nitish Rana got out, and then came in Sunil Narayan to replace a left hander, I
Is
think.
Sheldon Jackson right-handed or left-handed?
Sheldon Jackson is right hander.
Ah, okay,
Sam
okay. Then,
Billings, Sheldon Jackson, Russell, Saudi, Umesh,
oh, yeah,
Chakravarti,
yeah.
everyone is right hander.
Okay,
So
then
that's probably
sense.
one one probable reason I think, which I can think
Mm.
of at this point.
Yeah, but this is a weird decision. Still, I would feel like then they
Because
should
they
have.
have three left-handers, that is Venkatesh Iyer, Nitish Rana, and Sunil Narayan in the lineup.
That's a big problem. That's a big problem
So
when it comes to their top seven. Yeah. Then the thing case is then they should make Nitish Rana bat at 5. Then I don't get it why they make him bat at 4 and then bringing Narayan at 5. It doesn't make sense. Then
probably,
okay. I mean, it's
I
okay
mean,
if you have
Sam
a
Billings
right
at
hand
4 would have been
in
a
the
better
middle
option,
order.
I think.
I mean, it's okay if you have two right-handers in the middle order because we know how CSK is successful. Even if they don't have left hand, right hand combination, we know how successful
Yeah, I
CSK
mean,
is. Yeah,
left and right hand is just another logic, like just to
yeah, but
keep the
doesn't work
bowlers a
always.
bit.
I mean, that's myth. It's a
Yeah.
myth, but it doesn't work
Yeah, I
always.
mean,
But I do.
in today's lineup, I think probably Sam Billings at number four would have been a better choice,
Yeah, I
considering
do. I do agree on that.
his style of batting.
Oh, even a Sheldon Jackson would have worked. I don't get why Sheldon Jackson is batting at number seven, because in domestic he bats usually at number three or number four. That's what I've been seeing in SMAT, or even in
And
Ranji Trophy he bats at
why
number
does
three.
why does the ESPN Cricket Info show bold De Silva? Like, does Vanindu Asaranga have De Silva in his name somewhere?
Yeah, yeah, it does. Yeah, Vanidu Hasaranga De Silva. Yes, that's his final
Oh,
this thing.
damn.
Yeah. So that's it.
That's
Even
very
though
sad.
we call him Vanidu Hasaranga, it's Vanidu Hasaranga De Silva, and I think it's a long name. But De Silva is part of his name.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't get the ESPN and then ClickBus also. Does ClickBus also have the same thing? I don't know. I'm not checked
I
on
don't think so.
ClickBus.
Crickbus, I think, has Hasaranga itself.
Okay, then something
Not
wrong.
sure.
I mean, yeah, yeah, I think they have Hasaranga, right? Yeah, but I think it's De Silva. It's his surname. Even though it's Mavanidu Hasaranga, I think that's his middle name. I think actually Hasaranga. So,
No clue. I mean, it feels a bit weird, like because
mm,
we generally call him Hasaranga itself. So
yeah, yeah, true, true. I agree on that. Yeah, but yes, but still, what a spell from Vanidu Hasaranga still.
yeah, but how impressed were you with Akash Deep's opening spell?
Last match against Punjab Kings, and we didn't see. Everyone was thinking Hasaranga can't make an impact in the IPL. Is 10.25 maybe put into pressure from him, but I mean today he made a brilliant reply in a big match. I mean especially against KKR, a big rival match. He made a big impact. So
Yeah.
your thoughts on Hasaranga's bowling today, getting Ayaros out pretty early?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing was the work was kind of done initially. Like the initial breakthroughs were made by the opening itself.
Yeah,
Like I
I
think
think especially Siraj, yeah, Siraj and
Siraj
Akash Deep.
took a wicket or so, and yeah, and Akash Deep had taken two early on itself, I think.
Venkatesh and Nitish Rana, yes.
Yeah, so that kind of set KKR back already, and then they were in that rebuilding kind of phase, and that's when Hasaranga came in, and instead of trying to rebuild, like that pressure of scoring some runs at least came into the mindset, I think, and then they were trying to go for more shots,
Hmm.
and whereas
But I
when
think
we see Sheldon
KKR had
Jackson,
a good strike. I mean, good run rate. I think after six overs, even though they lost a lot of wickets, I think they were around 45, 50 in that power play. I think it's Asaranga just came and slowed that economy, plus took wickets also.
yeah, I mean they had taken wickets early on itself, so that was I think one of the setbacks. Like if you can scroll up, you can see the fall of wickets, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They're
So it
slightly
was
up. Yeah,
45 for 3. Yeah, 44 for 3 after 6. Yeah, 44 for 3
yeah,
after
around 40
5.5.
odd. Yeah, that's not a great run rate. Like I mean,
Yeah,
that's
but not a
around
great, but
seven and a
it's
half.
okay power play. I would even they may have lost wickets, I know, but when it
I
comes to
mean,
like the
if it
runs,
would, I mean, if it would have been like around 45 odd in 6 overs for the loss of one wicket or no wicket, that would have
yeah,
been a decent score. But
mm,
for if you're losing your top three for under 50 in your power play, so it is way much like the power play has gone way in the favor of the bowling team, I feel.
mm, true, true.
So once the
Yeah.
power play is done, then the field opens up anyways. So
Mm. If today KKR played Shiva Mavi today with that start of Umesh and Saudi, RCB will be all out below 100. Hmm. Bold statement from Krishna here. I don't know how to say. I don't know
I
how to
mean,
react to
it's
that. We have to
to be
see.
honest, like they have this Varun Chakravarti who is considered as a mystery spinner, and also
Yeah,
Sunil
let's not talk
Narayan.
about Varun Chakravarti, don't we? Because I mean, in the 2020 World Cup also, people had high expectations
No,
of
I'm just
Varun
trying to
Chakravarti,
compare the
and
situation, right? Like
yeah,
if you compare both the innings, so initially KKR while batting, they lost three wickets as we discussed,
yeah.
and then came in Vanindu Hasaranga and took four wickets for 20 runs in 4 overs.
I think in
The
RCB's
lone
innings
spinner.
also they were 3 for 17. I think after
Exactly my
2.1.
point. See, exactly. They were three down way before KKR.
Yeah,
And then when you have way more experience, like I'm not nothing to offend Hasaranga, but when you have way more experienced spinner like a Sunil Narayan
yeah,
and
yeah.
another so-called mystery spinner in Varun Chakravarti, who are your two key spinners in the lineup. who are going
Hmm.
to give you eight apparently economical overs and other key wicket takers for you. So
Yeah.
they should have been the ones who would have pulled the game back for KKR at that point.
Hmm.
But
Agree.
I think the partnership between Rutherford and David Willey,
Really. Yep. It may have been slow, but it is a very
yeah, but
crucial
that
partnership, I
I
would
mean
say.
the target was not that huge to explode at that point. So they
Yeah.
took enough time and they just negated the spell. Like although look at if you see Narayan spell, they have just given away one wicket. Although they
Hmm.
have just scored 12 runs out of that, they have targeted someone like Varun Chakravarti. They have scored
Yeah.
33 of
But
his bowling.
don't you think Sitanshu they could have included Venkatesh Iyer in that power play? Maybe given him one over. I know he was given at the death. If they gave him in the death, don't you think they could have given him a chance in that power play perhaps?
To be honest, I mean, I feel that Shreyas Iyer went in with the option of having those key five bowlers and all five completing their quota of 4 overs each. But
Hmm.
like we saw that Russell got thrashed across the park today in
Yeah.
his first 2 overs itself. So
Yeah.
that's where his doubt came in for Russell completing
On
his
the
quota. And because to be honest, there were 3 overs left in the innings. I think
yeah.
three
Yeah.
overs and around 20 odd runs. I think
I think they
25.
gave Saudi the 18th
And
over.
yeah,
Then they
where
gave it
where he
to
had
Venkatesh
two
Iyer.
from Russell remaining and one from Saudi.
Hmm.
So if
Yeah.
he had enough confidence in Russell's bowling, he could have gone for the 18th over with Russell, 19th with Saudi, and finished off 20th with Russell again. But he went with Saudi
True. Yeah.
because clearly he did not want to finish Russell's overs
Hmm.
because of
Very
the day
true.
he was having in the with the ball, which we see like 2.2 overs 36.
Yeah, terrible day in the office, I would say, for Russell, and
So I
ultimately
mean,
he got injury
Venkatesh Iyer
also.
was a very big backup option, I would say. So that plan kind of backfired.
But wasn't it KKR's plan to actually make Venkatesh Iyer bowl 2 or 3 overs? Because I mean that was the initial plan from match one, but they are not doing that. They are just sticking with the 5 overs. So don't you think they need to give a chance to Venkatesh Iyer also to prove, because he's been included as all rounder. He can bowl a few overs. Why don't you think they're giving? I mean, Sharai Iyer is giving a chance for Venkatesh Iyer to bowl. So that's the huge question here, because
I mean,
he's a pro all rounder. He bowls for India
today's
also.
match, it's pretty evident. After today's match, I think it's going to be Venkatesh Iyer at least bowling a couple of overs next match onwards because we have seen that now Russell isn't the best at his bowling right now. And I think
Yeah.
even when he was smashed for that six, I think he fell on the ground. I don't know if he was injured or no, because the commentators were saying that he has
Yeah, yeah.
like he
I
has
think he's injured his finger
knee or
wrist or
something.
something. I think
Yeah, I
that
don't know.
was the thing. I don't
So
know
yeah,
what's
I
going
mean
on with
the
Russell.
kind of injury prone
So
player he is, so you never know.
he's a very Preetham. What do you think? I think your predictions came to an end today. All your bad luck. What are your thoughts today?
Yeah, yeah, totally what I will say. Only because of one man, my prediction actually went wrong. That's almost Andy Russell. And yeah, as Shitanshu and you were saying that Venkatesha should be given more overs. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Because we have seen Venkatesh over in the previous over because the match was being lost. So Venkatesha
Hmm.
was the one who was actually means who was actually giving some good Yorkers as we can see, and also he was not allowing the RC batsmen to score. But on the other hand, we
Yeah.
can see Russell's over even in the first match right now when Dhoni smashed him, and even today when he was getting smashed in the first over. I don't know why Mr. Shreyas Iyer actually thought of giving the last over to him because because you see Venkatesh Iyer would have been done Southeast over, then he could have done Southeast. Sorry, I'm saying that Venkatesh Iyer should have been brought in the Southeast over. Okay, then Saudi should have got the over, and final over he could have done with Venkatesh. Even after Russell
But
getting
who
smashed,
knows, the
I
match would
don't
have
think
been
why has
different. I don't think I can question
yes
Sherai Iyer in bringing Tim Southey, because Tim Southey got those two
He
wickets.
took two wickets. Yeah,
In case if
yeah
Venkatesh
yes
Iyer bowled and scored, I mean, he considered about 10 or 15 runs, then then the blame would have all come to Shiraz Iyer over there. In that case, after making a mistake with making Andre Russell bowl that previous over before Saudi bowled also.
Mhm. yeah
So I mean, it's all up to Andre Russell. He could have a good day when he's having a good day. At times he has a bad day. He was okay with the bat, but then we can't rely him as a fifth bowling option. That's the thing. I mean, KKR have a big issue in the six bowler, and they are not utilizing Venkatesh Iyer also, Sitansu. So I don't know what to say to Rise Iyer and to the KKR camp right now, because they are only using him for 1 over, and they're trusting Russell to bowl 4 overs like as if he won't get injury in this IPL. So that's the biggest cloud right now for KKR.
And to be honest, like in between, when even the commentators were saying that DK has been reserved for the finishing part,
Yeah.
and they are saving Sunil Narayan's over. I was actually thinking, like, why isn't Shreyas Iyer going for a Nitish Rana? Because spin was
Hmm.
something which was
Mm.
being helpful in this track. Like, it was slowing the runs down,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
even the batters, they were facing trouble with the spin compared to the pace.
Good
So even
suggestion.
Nitish Rana would have been a good option in the middle overs.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I completely agree. Yes. Yeah, but
Well,
coming
on
back.
then yeah. Well, I'm saying that in
Yeah.
the next match, so Maxwell is in the next match as Maxwell is coming right now, as we have heard. So who do you think that is going out?
I do. Who said that Maxwell is coming? I don't think their sources still confirm that
Third match,
Maxwell
I
is
think
coming.
Maxwell is coming, right? Third match for RCB,
Yeah,
as
third
per
match.
se.
Yeah, I'm talking that. So who might go?
Interesting question. Interesting. I think
For sure,
David Willie
Rutherford.
perhaps. I think David Willie. No, no, not Rutherford. Rutherford can be very crucial at times. I know he played a very, very slow innings here, 28 or 40. But when you say about this, this was perhaps the most important. Even though Shabazz Ahmed got
Mm.
27 of 20, this innings from Rutherford staying until the he played anchor role, and that was very, very crucial at that time. So I definitely Rutherford should definitely stay in my opinion. They could make Willie. I think Willie could make place of Maxwell, because I mean already they have Siraj, Akash, Deep, Harshar Patel. They could rely on those bowlers. I mean Maxwell also could help. They I mean it's a tough call I'm saying,
Yeah,
but
but I mean,
right
if you see
now
the
I
lineup, if you
think
see the
that
lineup,
Rutherford goes there.
I mean, if you see the lineup, if you remove Rutherford from there and you add a Maxwell, and then you see the batting lineup, you have Faf and Anuj Rawat opening, one down Kohli, two down Maxwell, three down you'll have a Willie or a maybe a Dinesh Karthik. Three down can so basically number five, six,
But
seven
you can
is
always rely on Willie's batting. You can always rely on Willie's batting because it hasn't been that great.
yeah.
Even though he
Today the
might have
thing is
performed in the 100.
today yeah today the thing is Willie had to play that defensive role, so that's why you see that particular strike rate also. But his natural game is actually just coming and pinch hitting, like we have seen in the
Yeah,
hundred
but
and all.
still, I think Rutherford is a better batsman. I know he can't bowl Rutherford, but still, I think they have lot of
No, what I'm just
bowling
saying is
options.
because Rutherford can't bowl, and if you remove Rutherford, look at the batting lineup you anyways have. Like Faf and Anuj Rawat opening.
Hmm.
Number three Kohli. Number four we have Maxwell. So these four will be your top four.
But I
Your
get your
five six.
point because there's Shabazz Ahmad as well along with Hasaranga, and I don't think RCB will go with three spinners. So I kind of get your point, but yeah, I mean maybe Rutherford will have to sacrifice his place, but I wouldn't like that move happening. But since he can't bowl, that may have to happen, because I mean David Willie, you cannot trust him much on batting abilities, but he can be pushed down, and I was not in favor of this move also by
I
RCB
mean, like
for
you see,
making
five, six,
Rutherford at
seven.
number
Like
4.
your top four will be sorted with Maxwell. Your five,
Yeah.
six, seven, eight is basically Dinesh Karthik, David Willie, Shahbaz Ahmed, Wanindu Hasranga, and
Hmm.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 will be Harshal Patel
Hmm.
basically.
Hmm.
Mm.
True. True.
So
True.
till 9 you have your batting options.
Yeah. True. Rhythm, any other such? I mean, when Josh Hazelwood comes there, it will be. I think David Willie may have to drop away
Yeah, then
Oh
anyways.
yeah,
obvious. That's pretty
Yeah.
obvious because see, your
Yeah.
obviously.
pace attack right now is Mohammad Siraj, Akash Deep, and David Willie and
Hmm.
Harshal Patel.
True. 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 I
So you
agree.
have four pacers right now, out of
Hmm.
which one of them can.
I don't think Hasaranga can be
Go.
dropped after this performance. I think it's
Yeah,
extremely
Hasaranga
difficult
for sure
to do
because
it.
Hasaranga is your lead spinner right now in the team.
Yeah.
So
Agreed. Yes.
Hasaranga for sure is going to stay there.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm assuming that probably Akash Deep, like once Josh Hazelwood or someone comes in, maybe we
Hmm.
see David Willie going out and Akash Deep also going out along with him, and Josh Hazelwood coming in. and another Indian player, like probably a Mahipal Romro coming in.
Yeah, yeah, I do get your point. Yes.
Well,
Rhythm, any
Lomro in
more?
which place?
Huh?
Siddharth, Lomro in whose place? What do you think? Lomro in whose place?
I
Well,
said
Akash,
Akashdeep and David Willie, both of them go out, one Indian, one overseas,
Hmm?
and
yeah,
then
Hazelwood
Hazelwood
can.
and Longwood come
Yeah,
in.
I agree. I agree because then they have a
Yeah.
little pace bowling attack with Hazelwood, Siraj, Harshal Patel. I don't think they'll need Akash Deep for sure. And they can sacrifice that with Lomro. Yeah, I do agree with that.
So they'll
Yes.
have three genuine pacers, and then you have Hasaranga, Shahbaz Ahmed, and Maxwell, and if needed, Lomro also bowls. I think like very part-time kind of player, but he can be your eighth bowling option if needed.
Yeah, but coming back to RCB's batting now, I know today has been a failure. The first match they scored 205 for 2. We were just talking about the batting odd as well, but yeah, Shabazz Ahmad. I mean, he played a very crucial innings today. 27 of 23 sixes, 135 strike rate, coming ahead of Dinesh Karthik and playing like that also. So, Ritam, your thoughts on that?
Is Rhythm there?
Is he there? Oh, no, he left. Okay, okay. Anyways, yeah. To your question, yeah, Sitansh, you can answer that. Yes, since he left.
I mean, yeah, Shahbaz Ahmed, we have seen him play earlier as well, like these kind of knocks, even in domestic as well. So
Yeah,
that's not new. But yeah, the main thing was RCB's idea was to save Dinesh Karthik for the end, like for the slog in the end. Like not a lot of balls left, but like with a few balls and a decent number of runs remaining, Dinesh Karthik to come in and just finish off the innings. That was what their idea was, and to give him least number of balls against someone like a Sunil Narine.
yeah,
So I think he just had to come against Naren when 1 over was remaining, and he played I think around 2 or 3 balls against Naren. So that was the best part, and he played that with like uh, most cautious part, like singles, doubles. That's it. So
yeah. Rhythm,
and
here's a crowd of Bengali boys, Shabazz Ahmed and Akash
Akashdeep,
Deep
yeah.
and they go
Yeah.
Bengal, yeah. Yeah, Krishna says a good point here. If match winners like Bhanuka Rajapaksa or Odion Smith, either of one will be dropped for Barristow, then why not Rutherford drop for Maxwell? Yeah, true, true, true. I agree because I mean, David really gives that left arm bowling action also, and he may be expensive today, but still, I think Willie is also valuable at times, could be asset for the team. So,
I
yeah,
mean,
maybe.
I would probably back someone like a Rajapaksha for at least one more match because he's giving you the keeping option, and you already have a solid opening batting pair, like in
Mm,
Shikhar Dhawan and Mayank Agarwal.
mm,
So Bairstow, you might give him like a game or two at least, like to Rajapaksha,
mm.
and if he continues performing, then
Don't
I
you think
think
they can sacrifice? They can you can make both Baristo and Banuka play and perhaps make a change in that bowling. Maybe in that Indian lineup, make a bowling change because I mean, Odion Smith went for 52 runs also in that last game. I would question over that also because
yeah,
I
but
mean,
even he came back with the bat and he gave them the runs. I mean,
yeah, that is
although
a
that's
different
not
story.
close to
But then
the
I know that, but then it was not that much though. No, even though I know he made a crucial innings, but Punjab were on the verge to win. We know they're chokers and all. That's a different story, but still they were on that line to win. Even though Orion Smith played that 25 of 8, I don't know why they gave that the man of the match. I don't know. Understand about that, but I mean, Bhanuka Rajapaksa and Shikhar Dhawan, both of them scored those 44 runs to set the platform for Orion Smith to play like that. That's what I'm trying to say right
so
now.
basically the four overseas they had were Bhanuka Rajapaksha, Livingston, Oden Smith. Uh, I mean, they went in with three overseas, is it? Yeah, they went in
Yeah,
with
I
three
think so.
overseas.
Yes, yes,
Punjab
they
went
did.
in with three overseas. So
Yes. So the
obviously,
problem is now
best.
with Punjab is that they have seven overseas. Then they have Benny Howell, Nathan Ellis, and I think yeah, those two I'm not sure whether they'll play. Now that's the problem.
Yeah,
Now they have five overseas that they may play with. So
yeah.
there is a problem with that as well. So maybe they
So out
could.
of those five, four will play. So that's what I'm saying. So the thing is, Kagiso Rabada, when he's back, he's obviously going to lead the pace
Yeah,
attack for them.
obvious.
That
Yes.
is for sure. So in that case, uh, when Kagiso Rabada is back, I think Raj Bava will be making the place for him.
Hmm.
So like to complete the
Or,
four overseas quota.
or perhaps they can give another fast bowler and then sacrifice Odean Smith's place as well. That's what I'm trying to tell right now.
Yeah, because I mean they did not use Raj Bava at all in the bowling part,
Yeah.
and even in the batting, he just faced one ball against Siraj. So
Yep.
I mean, it would be harsh to drop him out in the first match, but if at all the squad composition is what is important, so probably Rabada comes in for Raj Bava,
Or maybe
so
they
that
can
he could
make
be a
it,
face option.
maybe make either Ishan Porel or Rishi Dhawan play. That could be the other case over here. They could make that change for Odean Smith. I mean, even Rishi Dhawan has proven in the. I know that's why they bought him also, no, in the first place because he had a good smat and he was a good lead as well for Pradesh also.
Rishi Dhawan,
Uttar,
is it?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, so if you're seeing the playing 11 which Punjab has, so Mayank Agarwal and Shikhar Dhawan to open, that is for sure.
yeah,
Now your number 3 slot was taken by Bhanuka Rajapaksha last time,
hmm,
and
yep,
we'll just keep that number 3 slot open right now. Number
yep,
4 is Livingston.
hmm,
Number 5 is open. Number 6 was Shah Rukh Khan.
yep,
Number 7 was Odean Smith.
yep,
And then you have your four bowlers. Like they went in
hmm,
with four bowlers itself, like Arshdeep Singh, Harpreet Brar, Sandeep Sharma, and Rahul Chahar. So
yeah,
probably number 8 could be Harpreet Brar with the bat. Like we have seen him perform decently.
yeah,
So number 8 Harpreet Brar. Number 9, 10, 11 is Sandeep Sharma, Arshdeep Singh, and Rahul Chahar. So
yeah,
basically your batting ends at number 8.
yes.
Yeah, and your
That's a
bowling
good.
options you have Arshdeep, Harpreet Brar, Sandeep Sharma, Rahul Chahar, Odean Smith. So five bowling options, and Liam Livingston as a part-time spinner in. So six.
Yeah.
And they could
Yes.
have also used Raj Bava, but they did not. That's another case.
Okay,
So
so that's what I'm saying. So instead of Raj Bava, maybe they could go for Ishan Porel or maybe make Rishi Dhawan play for Punjab Kings, and then they can make and then they can make that overseas change. That's what I'm trying to say right now, and then keep both Baristo and when Rabada comes, that's what I'm saying to do this.
yeah,
Not
I mean
before
Raj
Rabada.
Bava. Yeah, that's what. So that Raj Bava slot was if that is filled with a genuine
Yeah,
batsman
I
or a
think
batting
Raj Baba
all-rounder.
should play until Rabada comes back, maybe test with either Rishi Dhawan or Paral. That's another case. But I think you can't just make Raj Baba leave after his first match because he didn't get much of opportunity with
Yeah,
the bat. He
exactly.
just got
That's what I was saying.
outside duck, and that was poor captaincy also. Even though I mean Punjab won at the end, Mayank, he should have utilized Raj Baba, and I didn't see that. So maybe give him another 2 games, I would say, and then perhaps think consider what to do for the next option. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but we are talking a lot about Punjab, and let's go to the RCB versus KKR right now because we are going off topic. Yeah, Yash, you've joined. What are your thoughts on today's match? Very close encounter, but still your thoughts on the KKR batting and then RCB keeping into the last over. So your thoughts on that? Yes, is he left
So,
also?
am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
what
We
I was
can
saying that
continue.
it was a very close match, and and really happy to see how Dinesh Karthik actually finishing against KKR. So it was
Mm,
quite very interesting to see, and also
yeah. Continue. Yes. Are you there? Yeah. Yeah. So Dinesh Karthik played a good knock. Shabazz Ahmed played a good knock. Yeah, but top three you expect them to fire, right? Sitanshu, and they didn't fire actually, but good bowling from Umesh Yadav. But how good was Umesh Yadav, by the way? He played against his former side. He has been impressive in the first 2 matches, by the way. Umesh Yadav, a bargain by, I would say, by KKR, only buying him in the last minute and only for 1 crore, if I'm not mistaken. So, Your thoughts on this re-emergence of Umesh Yadav, because everyone ignored him in round one of the auctions, and as a late buy, KKR bought him. And I thought Umesh Yadav won't be even bought for this IPL. So your thoughts on that?
Yeah, he has been pretty handy with the red ball at least uh, lately, like for
Hmm.
India at least.
Yeah.
So like the form is not that much of an issue, but yeah, the main thing that revolves around Umesh Yadav was him getting whacked around for a lot of runs, being very less economical to say.
Yeah.
But whatever happens is he has this knack of picking wickets in the power play,
Power play.
in the
Hmm. I
initial
agree.
overs. So
Yeah.
that is the main part. So if the ball is actually doing a lot in the surface or the air in the power play, so he is very lethal in that case. And in both the matches, we have seen that
Yeah.
uh, to the opening batsman, he has been very dangerous for the opening batsman with the swing and all that. And obviously, he has express pace as well.
Hmm. I agree. So Sitanshu,
So
what do
he
you
has
think?
the purple cap now, right? If I'm not wrong.
Sorry, Umesh Yadav. Wait, I'll check. Yeah. But anyways,
Hasaranga
so
had
who
it
do you think?
midway.
So who do you think had the bigger? I mean, the crucial wicket for KKR. What do you think? Which bowler took that, and which batsman was that, which made this KKR to actually collapse in the first place? What
Uh,
wicket do you think was the biggest wicket for KKR to collapse to 128 all out? Or do you have, or do you don't have? No, it's still Hasaranga. Hasaranga has 5 wickets, and he has the orange
okay.
cap. Yeah, because
Okay.
Umesh Yadav has four. Yeah, so it's Hasaranga right now,
Mhm.
7.50. But Umesh Yadav's economy is just brilliant here. 4.50, 2 matches, 4 wickets. We
8
usually
overs,
think
36 runs.
Umesh Yadav has a very expensive economy, but this is good to see, and I hope he continues. This is just 2 matches we're talking. We
Even
hope he
Kuldeep
continues.
Yadav, if you see, has the same economy.
Yeah, but 1 match, right?
One
So
match. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, let's see though. This is still early stages. Early stages. We'll see how it goes though. When it comes to the first round. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. Good win for RCB. Yeah, and lot of positives I would say for. I mean, both teams had positives, but RCB had just slightly more positives than KKR, especially the middle order clicked, and it came to down to the wire. But what do you see the mistakes that RCB made, and what do you think they can improve for the next match, perhaps?
For
Even though
RCB, again, like the main thing is like relying on their top order, obviously, to give them a
Hmm,
decent start. So,
hmm,
luckily, this time we have seen that the middle order has stabilized the innings at least. Even after the
yeah,
loss of 3 wickets, they made a stable partnership at least. Although not a
yeah,
very high score, like quick score partnership, but a decent innings to be said, like decent partnership between Rutherford and Willie. So, a sensible innings to be said, yeah. So, to
yeah,
be improved, I would say probably more time in the crease for the top three at least.
yeah. Correct, correct. Yes, yes. I didn't see your private messages. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, but yes, talking about we'll have to talk about Purple Patel, right? Because 4 overs, 2 for 11. I know Hasaranga was man of the match and everything, but still, Harsha Patel 2 wickets, getting Billings and Russell out of the middle order. Your thoughts on Mr. Harshal Patel, the Purple Cap last season, and yeah, economy was very surprisingly only 2.75 against KKR. Meanwhile, so your thoughts? I didn't see this, but actually I have to talk about Harshal Patel. Yes.
Yeah, it's quite surprising to see Harshal Patel back in form, even in the Indian pitches as well. Interesting to see how he went for 2 over, none runs with 2 wickets in hands. Harshal Patel has been, a wonderful bowler, especially in that bowling with his variations, pace variations, and it's astonishing economy of just 2.75, and then you see Vanadu Hasaranga declared as even if he has four wickets in hand, but when you look at Harshal Patel, he has impressed us quite a lot with 2 maiden overs, with the very first 2 maiden overs in just 2 overs. So it was quite good to see Harshal Patel back in form, and even I
Yeah.
didn't thought of how Harshal Patel will form this time. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite interesting to see how he had with the and even his both when RCB went both for Fernando Hasaranga and Harshal Patel for 10 plus crores, we all thought
Mm.
that what RCB is doing, but yet these two has
Yeah.
once again proved why they are known for what.
Yeah. So Tom, a regular audio person has said, sorry, subscriber said, hi Pawan, back after weeks was having selection for my Sussex under 16 team. I did well, scored 34 of 21 when in the bowling park. They all smashed me 2 overs, 26 runs. Congrats, by the way, Tom. Yeah, and hope you have a. Hope you get selected by the Sussex team. Sad to see. I mean, you. I mean, in vain. I mean, Dimuth went to Yorkshire. Maybe perhaps if he went to Sussex, you would have met him. Yeah, but anyways, he says
Well,
here,
it's
man.
it's well, Pawan, it's way better than Daniel Sam's over.
True, yeah.
The first match,
But
the second match.
man, Hasaranga is the new Chahal for RCB. Tom says, Sitanshu, do you agree with this? But I mean, Chahal first match 3 wickets. Meanwhile, not easy against SRH team like that. But do you still think that was the wrong move by RCB to just release Chahal?
I mean, it's
Tom,
too early
say
to call it because Chahal has been with RCB for a long time and he has performed consistently for a long time. And the main thing was that Chahal had more matches in Bangalore. And me being in Bangalore, I know that, like, Chinnaswamy is a very small ground. And for spinners to perform there is a very big thing because very
Mm.
short boundaries and even a slight edge or a untimed shot also goes for a six.
True, true.
So for spinners to perform in Bangalore is a very big thing. So it's
Hmm.
too early to call it like Hasaranga is the new Chahal for RCB.
Yeah.
Although he could prove as a more important asset for RCB because he can give you some decent runs with the bat as well. But then again, like maybe if Chahal was still part of RCB, so Chahal and Hasaranga together would have been a very deadly duo.
Hmm. I agree. Yash, your thoughts on this also on, with Tom. Man, Hasarang is the new Chahal for RCB. Your thoughts on that? I think it would have
See,
been better if they
releasing
had.
Chahal for releasing Chahal for RCB was quite a very risky step, to be very honest. But you see how Chahal has been impressive for RCB, and then you remove Chahal, you didn't retain Chahal even with the one spot left. And you talk about Hasaranga being the new Chahal for RCB. I do not agree with this at all because Hasaranga is a new player and he has just played for 1 or 2 games with RCB. So picking up 4 wickets for RCB for the very first match for Hasaranga doesn't prove his by Chahal. So
Yeah,
it might take some or more time for even a season for Hasaranga to prove himself. But I can assure you that he won't be able to replace Chahal because Chahal has been with RCB since 2 to 3 years with a permanent family. So I don't agree with this as
yeah.
Hasaranga being the
He's
new Chahal
been
for
there
RCB.
since 2013, I think. It's a long time
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chahal was there with
2013 or 14,
RCB.
I think. At least he's been there for
For 8 or
2014.
9 years. Yeah, for 8 or
Yeah,
9
almost
years.
7 or 8
Yes.
years. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, Krishna here says Narayan and Venki to open and Rahane at middle order. What do you think, Sitanshu, about this? I think it should be the opposite. I would say Rahane and Narayan to open and then Venkatesh Iyer can come at number 6, like what he does for India. I think they should go for that option.
Yeah, because see, to be honest, like KKR, if you see the batting lineup, they have a lot of decent middle order players. Like you have a Shreyas Iyer, you have a Sam Billings, you have a Sheldon Jackson, you have Nitish Rana, who is a floater. So that
Yeah.
is not an issue at all. Like middle order is not much of an issue. It's just
Hmm.
your opening part where, and we have seen Naren, uh, especially against RCB, and even in past we have seen that he is known for that explosive start that he can give in the power play. And
Yeah.
once the power play is done, he's not that effective at all. So
Hmm.
probably if you want to utilize Naren in the top, that is a good choice. But Naren, like Rahane in the middle order would be a bit dicey because Rahane also we have seen when he used to play for the rising Pune Super Giants, he used to open and he used to capitalize on the power play mainly.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
I
now,
agree.
I mean, I don't know if Yash might agree with me or not, but I feel that Rahan is not much of a power hitter kind of thing. He's more that elegant
Yeah.
player, and he
I
will rely
agree.
more on his ground shots. And like maybe once he builds the innings, then he goes on to the bigger shots.
I think we see some positivity with Rahane also when he opens. I think he scored a half century also. And I mean, I think Rahane is back to rhythm. I would feel like he proved in his first match. I know today it was sort of a failure, but
Yeah, I
I
feel
would
that
rather.
yeah, if he is
I think
starting off in
Rahane
the
is a bit
11,
insecure when he bats in the middle order, unlike Venkatesh, because I think Venkatesh can bat anywhere. I mean, even number six, he'll adapt and somehow can play that finisher's role also, like what he does for India. We've seen it, and he's done it also before. So why don't you make Venkatesh higher better number six, and maybe perhaps give Narayan a chance, because Narayan's position is also wasted when he's also not given the chance to either open or bat at number three. I think his impact is more valuable than Venkatesh. I'm sorry to say, but I know Venkatesh was good in the second half, but that was based on Dubai conditions. And so far, he's failed in Indian conditions as opening. We didn't see how he did in the first leg in India because he wasn't given a chance. So we need to assess those two situations and see. And maybe if he fails more as opener, I would rather put Venkatesh Iyer to in the middle order and make him better numbers five and six, and let's see what he does in that role, and make Narayan to open with Rahane. That's what I feel should be done. But yes, your thoughts. Yes.
See, for me, it's quite dazzled to see how Narayani and Rahane will work down for the year. Yeah, when you talk about Venki, see, what I think is that KKR must have retained Venki as an opener because he has performed for them for the previous season as an opener. Uh, looking at
Yeah, but
how
that was
Rohit,
second leg, right? Yes, that was in Dubai conditions, right?
yeah,
Dubai
yeah.
and
It's
India are
see, I'm
completely
coming to the
different
point. I'm
conditions.
yes, Pawan, I'm coming to that point. So when you look at Rohit Sharma's captaincy for the India, he went, he asked Venki to for the, for the power hitting cause it's quite dazzled to see why Venki will top the order if Rohit Sharma or KL Rahul is batting, right? So for KKR, if you like, you might experiment with see, it's quite first or two to three matches, and you can experiment with your numbering. With you can experiment with your players. You might see, yeah, Pawan, you can go with Narayani and Ajinkya Rahane because you need one of the player to actually anchor the innings from the starting, right? And I think Rahane can do that very well for
Hmm.
KKR. So if you look at that, so Narayani and Rahane must open. I still don't believe that Narayane has that type of form which he was known for previous to previous season. Because see,
Yeah.
the, you ask him to go and hit for the boundaries, it's only the risk that you take for Narayane, right? Because you never
Yeah.
know how Narayane is now with his power hitting capacity. But when you look at Venkatesh Iyer, he looked in good form today. To be very honest, if you must have looked at that, was some of the blinder that went from Akashji. So let's see how KKR management look at this particular thing. But I do still believe that Venki must be given some of the more chances even because you never know how Narane will perform as an opener, right? So, because Narane has been even not performing as in the down the order, you might ask him to perform as he was known for. So that's quite dazzled question. That's
yeah,
quite
with
interesting
Narayan, the
as
thing
well.
is,
But
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out that, like, I mean, like with Narayan, it's just like a hit out or get out kind of situation when he opens, right? So if he clicks, you have a flyer of a start, but if he fails, you have a very like early setback in your innings. Sorry to
Hmm.
interrupt, Yash. I just wanted to just put that point
yeah,
since we
yeah,
were
yeah. I
discussing.
got your point. Yeah, right.
Yeah, Krishna. Before we go to the SRH versus RR match a bit quickly, we'll finish off with this match with Krishna's point. Anjut Rawat's performance is like SRH Abhishek Sharma. For me, Faf and Virat to open and Lomro the hard hit and middle order. Or Suyash Prabhu Desai who had a fantastic practice match. I don't know what to say about this because Anju Rawat, I think they are investing in the future, and this could perhaps be a helpful for him. But I think you need to give chances, right? This is the second match, and you can't judge a batsman based on that because I think he proved himself in the practice match, if I'm not mistaken, Anju Rawat, and there's some talent in him, which is why RCB, I think Mike Hesson is investing a lot. Others, I don't think they'll go so much on Anju Rawat. But Sitanshu, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, as you said, like it's too early to call it because in today's match, you see he got out for a duck. I agree, but even someone like a Faf and a Virat also did not score a very big innings. So it's not very hard. I mean, it's kind of harsh to say that he was to be blamed or he's not performing well for them. So that is one thing. And second thing is probably instead of Virat to open, I would say if at all Anuj Rawat is being dropped, probably we could have Shahbaz Ahmed. We have seen him open earlier. So maybe a Shahbaz Ahmed opens the innings, and then we continue with the remaining order. Uh, so
Hmm.
yeah. What about you, Yash?
See, once again, I'll see how Anuj Rawat performs in next 2 to 3 matches as well. Because see, IPL is all about youngsters, how they come up and showcase their talent. And if you don't give them chance to perform, see, you must have seen how when Raj Baba went for a duck, Mayank Agarwal a patter on his, the back. So it's about youngsters, how you regulate them, how you actually handle them. Because it's always about pressure. They are opening. Anuj Rawat is opening with for RCB. So he is replacing, someone like a player like Davinder Padikkal. So everyone has a lot of expectations from him. So it
Yeah.
actually seems like a player has a lot of pressure on him to actually fill the shoes of a player like Davinder Padikkal. So you
Hmm.
must give him 2 to 3 more matches chance. Let's see how he goes. If not, you then for sure he must be dropped. But it's a
Yeah,
youngster.
I think we
He's
should give him. We'll give him for the first 7 matches, and then we'll see. Like first
yes,
half,
yes, yes. You should,
we'll
you
give
should.
him
Because
the
if you're
then
investing in a player like Anuj Rawat, and then you after we see, it's always about the morale that player handles, even in
yeah,
IPL. So you must give them 2 to 3 matches chances, and then if he doesn't perform, it's your right to then be dropped.
yeah.
I think
Just
7 matches would be too much. Like if he's not performing for maybe let's say three or
Seven
four
matches will be too
matches,
much. Yeah,
yeah,
three to
yeah.
like
four
three or
Maybe
four
matches is a
because
lot
I was
more.
yeah,
because
yeah,
same thing applies to other youngsters as well, right? Like
Right,
you
right,
have a
right, right.
Suyash Prabhadesai as well in your lineup, and last year we saw we had Rajat Patidar and all also in the lineup, but a lot of players get overshadowed and like did not get enough chances. So if at
yeah,
all he's not performing in the next 2 or 3 more matches after this, then
yeah,
maybe it's going to be time for him to be replaced. But just based on 1 or 2 matches, I think it's going to be harsh on uh,
yeah.
being replaced. Yeah.
So Tom Hayes really brought tears in my eyes after seeing batters smashing bowlers for fun after 2 long years of fortune back in UAE. Hmm. True, true. So we quickly go to Rajasthan versus SRH. We can discuss that much. We'll briefly go through that, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. But yeah, coming to Rajasthan, I mean, 210 for 6. I mean, literally all the Sunrisers bowlers, except for Booby, I would say, and Shepherd, were just hammered yesterday. And what innings from Sanju Samson, 25 of 27, and then Josh Butler opening. What Sitanshu, your thoughts on that innings from Rajasthan?
Yeah, I mean, you see that you look at the number of extras also given, and which generally the extras are not that essential, but the kind of extras which came. So in the first over, we saw like a no ball which could have got the wicket of Josh Butler. So that kind of proved important for SRH. Like it proved costly for SRH, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is one thing.
But
And
the
yeah, I
strike
mean,
rate, yeah, the strike rates of Hetmaya and Sanju Samson. Meanwhile, number three he batted. Padikal even batted at number 4 and playing us 55 of 27. Even Padikal adapted well and bat at number 4 and scored 41 of 29. This shows that Rajasthan Royals batsmen can adapt anywhere, and seems like this batting order is very strong compared to other teams right now.
yeah, but I mean, the thing is, players like Hetmeyer and Particle, when they came in, I mean, it was a decent score which they already had on the board.
Yeah.
So it would be crucial to see maybe if in the next match, if Rajasthan is batting first, and you have like a Josh Butler going in within the first 1 or 2 overs, and
Hmm.
so is your Sanju Samson or a Yashasvi Jaiswal. So if like today's KKR innings, if you see, so in your first
Yeah.
6 overs, you have scored around 40 odd runs, and your top 2 or 3 are done. Like top three are out.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's when your main middle order will be tested actually, because
Yeah.
at the point in which Particle came in or the Hetmeyer came in, the stage was already set to just explode, and the bowlers'
True.
morale was already down. Like the bowlers
True.
from SRS were down and out already.
True.
So they just has to come in and they could just free flow and they could just play free. That's it.
Yeah. We have Mr. Varun from SRH fan. We're talking about SRH versus Rajasthan Royals yesterday from the US. I hope Pajisa doesn't come now, otherwise this could be over by now. The trolling, but yeah, I mean SRH. I mean good innings. So I mean from Sanju, Padikal, Josh Butler, but I mean Bhuvi was impressive, but I mean the spinners gave it all, and especially Natarajan was a bit expensive. But what are your thoughts on the SRH bowling, Varun, yesterday? First match, I don't want to be too critical, but yeah, I mean, too good from RR yesterday.
Obviously, whenever you see the scoreboard of first of all or SRH bowlers, you can tell already they were not well prepared first of all, and
Okay, we don't, we have not
oh no, oh no. So
When you speak.
see,
I know. I just was playing darts in the back room, and then I had my phone. I came running down. I said, "Who's this?" And then I saw the stream, so I thought, "Yes, why not discuss the match?"
Yeah, but Varun, you can continue your point, yes, before we come to Paji. Yes.
as I said, in just looking at the bowling scorecard of us, you can already tell the game wasn't our way. They were first of all not ready at all, and also first of all talking about our playing 11, it's not experienced. You can easily say that like they don't have much
Yeah.
experience in IPL, or we have youngsters all the way. So that's another problem. But again, it's good that we're giving them game time, and we lost in a fair way because okay, Rajasthan Royals, they were strong, but we lost with a young team. That means at least we tried we tried our best to at least go ahead of the game. But
Yeah.
opening, we had a the best opening pair I can say from 2016 to 2021, and then coming to 2022 we have Kane Williamson and Abhishek Sharma. It was kind of silly to see that, but again it's
Yeah.
just part of the game. Each team has their own skill set, and
Don't
also
you think Markram can open? Don't you think Markram can open
he
perhaps with
can open.
yeah.
I'm not
So can
expecting.
Rahul Tripathi.
Yes, we have many
Yeah.
options. They're flexible in their own ways, but I think it's better if Makram stays in the middle order because he already performed there. I mean, see, if SRH wants to switch their positions, that's fine. But if you want the middle order to stay strong, just keep Markram there. There's no issue because you already have Tripathi, as you said. You have
Yeah.
Kane Williamson.
Tripathi
He
can
can just
open.
come to 3 or 4. Right,
Yeah.
and you have many other replacements for Abhishek Sharma if
Yeah.
if SRH decides to put him on the bench for a couple of games, decides he needs more practice and all, and then he can come back in because he's also a valuable asset to our team. We put 6.5 crores for him, so we saw
Yes.
something in him. So it's just a matter of time until we get back to our winning ways. But we just need a bit more time. That's all. And anyway, we have 1 week left until our next game, right? So
Yeah. Krishna here says the main problem in is bringing Umran Malik at 4 when Josh likes to play pace, and in his first over he gave 21 runs. In power play, Markram should be given some overs, which we saw he did for South Africa.
I wouldn't give Markram overs right in the power play. I would rather give it to Washington Sundar. At least he has experience in the power play. But again, Umran Malik, he was bowling okay, but Josh Butler was just using his pace so the ball can just go onto the boundary. That's it. What else? He was bowling fine.
But
With the
ultimately,
speed
Umran
and the
Malik was the
length.
one who took his wicket also, so that is also
Yeah,
Yeah.
true,
something to
true.
notice.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame much of Umran Malik. At least he got that wicket. He got
Yeah.
2 crucial wickets, and
So
Washington
if you
Sundar.
actually see the bowling, so Umran Malik 4 overs, you see 39 for 2
Hmm.
is a very poor bowling performance, you would say. But if you consider the fact that his first over went for 21,
Yeah.
Yeah.
now you remove
Yeah.
that part out and you see the remaining 3 overs.
Hmm.
Hmm.
3 overs, 18 for 2 is his remaining figures.
Yeah.
True, true.
So that was pretty good from him.
Yeah, I agree. But we'll come to Paji sir now. Rajasthan batting. I know Padikal batted at 4. Sanju Samson. It seems like this Rajasthan Royals batting is very flexible and one of the
Yeah.
best, I would say. The puja for Paragos has worked perhaps because 2 boundaries yesterday, 12 of 9. But yeah, your overall thoughts on the batting, 210 on the board. You predicted right. So your overall thoughts on the Rajasthan Royals batting.
Awesome. One word, absolutely amazing. The fact is, we went for Padikal. We've got Yashashvi. We've got Butler. We've got Samsung. We got Hetmaya. And then we got the Puja for Parag, which is working. So, yeah, top 6 looks really good. I think the big thing for us is to get past the first power play, only losing 1 wicket. If we only lose 1 wicket in all the matches, I think we can chase any total and we can build any total because that's how good the batting is. As long as Hetmeyer comes in from the 13th, 14th over, it's a brilliant batting lineup. So, as I said,
Yeah.
the only disappointment yesterday was Colton Isle. That was
Yeah,
the big
that's the thing.
disappointment.
I was going to come to him. Yeah, why would you make him bat at number 7? And I don't know, maybe you can use a Jimmy Neesham perhaps. I think he can bowl and perhaps bat as well. I know you
Nisham is
want
poor. Nisham, I'd say
Nisham is poor.
he's an
Yeah.
RCB reject. We don't want. I didn't really want. I didn't really want Nisham in because I think his
maybe
bowling is
Darian Mitchell. Maybe Darian Mitchell in the middle
Darren
order, maybe.
Mitchell. That's what we're talking
But
about.
where will
That's
you
what we're
place
talking about.
him? Where will you place him? You
That's
can't
the
place
question.
him.
I would play Darren Mitchell at 6 as a batting and an all rounder because if you do lose a lot of wickets in
Has
the
he played
power play,
as
then
Darian Mitchell?
you could upgrade him. But he could also bowl 1 or 2 overs because that's what they need. Somebody could bowl 1 or 2 overs. So I would definitely be playing Navdeep Saini instead of Parag, unfortunately, and Darren Mitchell. Then you have your top 6 and the option of bowling 1 extra over of Darren Mitchell if Saini is getting whacked. So I think that's probably a better way to go because you can't play 3 spinners. You can't bowl in the Mumbai pitches or the Pune pitch. You can't bowl a spinner plus the 16th over unless it's someone like Sunil Narayan like we saw today.
But Paji sir, coming back to you, I mean, if you drop Parag and the top 6 may be good, but when it comes to number 7, then it could be a question mark, right? If you drop Parag for
To
Navdeep
be
Saini.
fair, Pavan, if you saw Saini bat for India a couple of times in Sri Lanka, he was really good. So
You can't put
it's
all
not
your
That's
consistency.
true, but
Navdeep
this is
Saini to back.
IPL,
Come
right?
on, come on.
Huh?
Come
Sri
on.
Lanka is your home team. It's your home team,
cannot
and
put
he
your
can hit the
thumb on
ball.
Navdeep
He can
Saini.
hit the ball. For me, I think the 3 overs of Saini plus the 1 over of Mitchell makes it up because then you've got 6 quality batsmen, and then you can even play Ashwin at 7. You could play Saini at 8.
I would say.
You could play Yuzi at 9, and you've got Bolt. So really, if you think about it, if Rajasthan can play the power play without losing any wickets, they don't need 7
That
batsmen
won't
because
happen for
the
all
quality
matches,
of the
right,
batsmen
Paji?
is there.
But Paji, that won't happen for all the matches, right? There could be
I
a case where
know, but if you look at the bowling attacks of each of the teams, which bowling attack has 5 outstanding bowlers? Yeah, 2 spin. We looked at today. You look at today. Hasaranga came off, fortunately for them. Who was the other? Shabazz, right? He could get whacked by any player. We saw yesterday with the Sunrisers. You take Washington out, you've got Abhishek Sharma, who's a part-time spinner. So that's 8 out of the 8 overs of spinning. The best spinning team was obviously KKR today, but Varun was rubbish.
Varun
So
Chakravarti, not
that was the problem.
Varun. We already
That was
spoke
the
a lot
problem.
about
But if you look at the Rajasthan, if you look at Rajasthan, if they put Darren Mitchell at 6, and then they've got Saini at batting at 8 or 9, then your front line bowling, you can then bowl 3 overs of Prasidh right up top, and then you
Yeah.
can bowl 2 overs of Bolt and leaving 2 overs at the death, and then you also can mix and match with Saini and the spin bowlers. So I think that's definitely the way Rajasthan should be going. So because Nisham can't bowl. Nisham is like he's a donkey with the ball. So I just will not play him.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, yesterday, I think it was just the luck for Josh Butler that he got out of a no ball in the first over. Otherwise, the story would
He
have been
got
pretty much
out of
different.
no ball 2 times. Two
Yeah,
times.
no ball 2 times.
One's on a no
Got
ball and
3.
one's on a free hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Not
Bhuvi,
really. What's the big deal?
you have to admit, Bhuvi was excellent in those 3 overs. Bhuvi bowled up top. It was the world class bowling. He did bowl really well, and that's what I like about Sunrisers. I'll be honest with Sunrisers. You can see what happened. They should have played Markram up the top and dropped Abhishek slightly better, and then they would have outplayed us. All they had to do was see the power play through to have any chance. As soon as they lost the wickets in the power play, that was the problem.
True.
I would have rather had
Krishna,
Kane
yeah.
Williamson lower instead of Sharma.
Definitely. Yeah.
Probably open.
Definitely.
I was actually expecting either a Rahul Tripathi or an Aiden Markram to open with
Hmm.
Abhishek
Yeah.
Sharma,
Yeah.
and then
I
maybe the other one coming at number 3 or 4 with Kane Williamson.
Williamson should come at 3. That's what I think. Williamson I think number 3 suits him a lot because he does
3
that
or
for
4,
him.
3 or 4 max,
Yeah.
3 or 4 max for Williamson,
best.
and same thing with Rahul Tripathi or the other one. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have a lot of, but he can just anchor the innings. That's all we need him for. He comes in at what, over 14, 15, just imagine, and then he can just anchor the innings from there onwards. He can accelerate quick.
Yeah,
That's why I was
Krishna here
shocked
says
seeing Williamson
for
open the
me.
innings yesterday.
Yeah, Krishna says for me, Ravi Kumar, Samath or Vishnu Vinod should be given chance to open with Tripathi and Abhishek to be dropped.
See, they might be good players. Tripathi is okay, but again, we spent 6.5 on Abhishek. I don't think we'll drop him. We'll just switch his position a bit. He'll probably still open, but Kane Williamson, Tripathi, Markram, Washington Sundar, these guys' position might be switched a bit depending on if we win the toss and bat first or not. Their positions might be switched.
I think they should open with Kane and Markram. I think if they're batting first or if they're chasing a low total, they should definitely open with Kane and maybe
then the middle order will
Markram
become weak with
and have
him.
Abhishek below.
Then the
But the
middle
problem
order
is the
will be-
lack of experience in that bottom thing. They don't want to keep that there. And Washington batted really well yesterday as well. So they've got options. The good thing with Sunrise is they've got options. You look at RCB today; they were rubbish because if Kartik had got out earlier, the batting wasn't there. It was just because the total was so low. KKR messed up. So I think overall Sunrise will be happy with that performance because I think Romario played well as well. So they've got a lot of positives from yesterday, but they were just beaten by the better team.
But we need to talk about this player, right? Tom here says Nicholas 0 run.
SRH, yeah. I mean, the thing is,
Poor
SRH
run.
starting.
I don't know what to say about Puran because he played well for West Indies against India and again 0 of 9. Now he's wasted 9
The
deliveries.
bowling
I
was
know
good of
it was
Rajasthan
hard.
Royals. Let's just admit it. The power play bowling was brilliant. That's the
But
only
poor,
reason.
Pooran, we call him the international
Puran is
dialing
a
code because he has more notes.
player.
He has more
He
notes in
is
his form than an international dialing code.
Very true, but still Puran is a proved player before. He's played West Indies, he's played couple of good knocks before against these bowlers like Trent Bolt or even a Prasid Krishna. But this is surprising. I mean, in
See, we see
IPL, there is
that
some sort of
now in the retrospective, we see that he has faced 9 balls and he has got out for a duck. But if you actually see RCB's first game also, we had Faf du Plessis. I think out of 35 balls or so, he had scored I think only 12 or 13 runs out.
12,
So you
13.
can't really comment on the fact that he faced 9 balls because he came in when I think they were 2 run already or so at a very early stage. So he had to face off that over. And Prasid Krishna was bowling extremely well in that over. So in that spell.
True.
So he had to give respect to the good balls as well. So that is one thing.
I think with Pooran, you have to kind of try to get him into the game from the 9th or 10th over to get the best of it. When the ball's zipping around, he can get out for naught. And I think the pressure of being in the IPL, knowing that he's consistently failed, I think that could be mental blockage when he walks onto the pitch that he's expected to fail. So I think he puts a lot of pressure on himself. So I think maybe Sunrisers will go with that route. Yeah.
Pooran and Hetmar, I feel, are like very similar players. Like both of them past the mid pay of the innings. If they come in, then that's the perfect time for them.
That's I was just, you took the words out of my mouth. If Hetmar comes in after say 14th over and Rajasthan have got 130 on the board, he can then accelerate that to play carefree. He can get us to that 185, 190 score. And I think Pooran is probably very similar. If the pressure is on and he's eating up balls and he's not accelerating his score, he will likely to get out, lose his head, and play a rash shot and get out. So I think that's one lesson Sunrisers can learn from that, is basically trying to keep him away from playing from after the 8th or 9th over. Yeah.
So we have Ayush joining us, KKR fan. Meanwhile, he decided to skip the RCB versus KKR discussion, but we are right now talking about the Sunrisers Hyderabad versus Rajasthan discussion.
Just a thought. I know, Pawan, you laugh at me, but I think, whatever said and done, very well fought KKR. Okay, to make
true. I admit. Definitely.
You have to admit. You don't have a choice, Pawan.
And the RCB fans are celebrating like they've achieved something. I'm really switched my Instagram on and Twitter, and you think they were really confident? They just about struggled. They just about got over the line. 128 and they just struggled.
Paji, if they cannot win trophies, at least they should celebrate this, right?
It's
like Diwali. It's like happy Diwali. Everything. I think bloody
They should have sent DK, if not for Willie, at least for Rutherford. Because I'll tell you
Mhm.
something, this was a win which they could have gotten 14 overs and
Yeah,
15
exactly.
overs and
Exactly.
gotten a great run rate. And for KKR, everybody has one bad day, right?
Yeah.
And even on a bad day, to get a 120 and then not affect their run rate that much is okay.
Yeah.
But are we talking about the SRH match? Then Varun, do you have the tissues with you to wipe your
Tissues,
tears?
sadly not, man. I was in school.
Krishna here says, Ayush, come on, what you promised to Pawan that you will say in live, I love Delhi Capitals.
When did
We
I
were
never
having
said
it
that.
over here.
Yeah, I love Delhi Capitals, man. Why not? Rishabh Pant and all that. What's wrong with it?
Okay, he admitted it, Krishna. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
what is wrong?
okay.
But
He admitted it.
When Delhi loses, then I'll have a discussion with Pawan. Then let's see. I'm waiting for Delhi's
Hey,
loss on Saturday.
he only loves Delhi Capitals because Pawan is a fan of Delhi Capitals.
But are we talking about the SRH match, Pawan?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're talking about SRH versus
SRH
RR. Yeah,
match,
because we
man.
can do.
What to say on that? I mean, Rajasthan. But Paji, you'll agree on one thing. If you critically analyze Rajasthan, they're a very good team, mind you. But I somehow feel that they will lack in the death overs. Somehow
Yes.
feel
Yep.
I
because
agree with you 100%. I
when
said that
Bolt.
before. That's why I say we probably need to get Navdeep into the team.
Hmm.
Once we get Navdeep in the team, that will give us really good options. Because Prasid, we have to bowl right up the top. He has to bowl the 3 overs. And then the 1 over in the 15th over, that's where I would bowl him. And then you then
But
got
But
Bolt for the 2 overs. So you
how
need
do
to
you
get
get
2 overs
Navdeep?
out of some other bowler.
But then how
And
do you get
unfortunately,
Navdeep
that has
in
to be
though?
Navdeep. Otherwise,
How do you
where are
get
we going to go?
Navdeep in though? How do you get Navdeep in? I mean,
Parag out.
Parag
It
out,
has to be Parag out. It has to be,
but
unfortunately,
then
because
and then
but
Colton
then you
Isle
have
for
to take a batter also, na? From somewhere. You have to take a
no, then
batter.
Colton Isle out for Dariel Mitchell. That's what
yes.
Paj wanted. Yeah.
No.
Or Rassi's
You're
been
talking about
bowling spin off spin as well, so we
Oh
could
no, no,
we could
that's it.
potentially put Rassi in,
I
and
don't
then we can
think
still play
I
Navdeep.
think
that's a
yeah,
big
that's
risk.
the problem, right? They
That's
lack
a big risk being
their
taken.
big. See, Bolt won't be out. Okay.
Yes, that's
Okay,
Yeah,
obvious.
four bowlers won't be out. Okay.
yeah.
Fulton Isle, if you have somebody who can bowl at the death in place of Fulton, that's a thing. So yeah, see, I think Bolt is a good bowler. Yeah, even in death he will do well. But
Yeah.
still, I feel that death bowling and a bit of the lower middle order after Hetmeyer, a bit six,
Well, that's
seven.
what I'm saying. If you put Darren Mitchell or you put Van der Dussen at number 6, yeah, then
Yeah.
to be fair, then you got Ashwin who can hold the bat at 7.
But they're
Navdeep
top
can
order
hold the bat. We've
batsmen
So
seen
you're
now.
that in the
saying
past.
They're
so
top order batsmen now. That's the problem.
you know what Paji is saying. Then on Van Anderson can bat. Paji, so you basically saying in place of
Ayush,
Parag, you
don't
want
you
the
think
Indian all
Nisham is a
rounder.
good option? Don't you think Nisham is a good option with how he plays
No.
for New
No,
Zealand?
no, no. Nisham's finished. I saw it. I
No,
saw him in the 100. He was so bad. Honestly, I've
Yeah, but
never
Paj,
seen the.
don't you think
No,
like Nisham
honestly,
in the 2020 World Cup with the batting especially, he can
and
bowl also
Pawan
few
2020
overs.
World Cup has been 6 months.
yeah.
Exactly.
The
See,
the,
I don't
the,
think
the
so.
issue is the issue is Sani. If Sani comes off, then you can't afford to bowl Krishna 3. You could even get Bolt to bowl 1 in the power play and Sani to bowl 1 in the power play, and then you've got the 3 or 4 overs at the end where you could say, okay, Bolt could bowl 3, and you got one other bowler
But
to bowl that. But you need to find at least 2 overs from
I
somewhere
am
else. And we
but
saw yesterday Parag is going to get hammered if he bowls
bit
in
but
the.
unscientific
I don't
recent
think there is any
performance though.
option to get Navdeep in right because see, you cannot drop Chahal and Ashwin to for sure. You
Yeah,
Yeah,
cannot
that's your
drop
8 overs there. Yeah,
definitely
Bolt
not.
and Krishna for sure. You cannot drop them. Right.
yeah.
That leaves me
Definitely
with
that 8
Fulton.
to 11, I don't think we can drop. We have to take it
Yeah,
from
so
lesser
only two people you can drop. You can drop either Coulter or right now, or you can drop either Parag. But
Yeah.
Parag, I think they will back him. Because and I think I like the way
But
Parag's batting right now.
Coulton Isle can perform on his days. We have seen with MI also with his bowling, especially he can get
I heard he's also
four
suffering
to
from an
five wickets.
injury.
But Pawan Coulter looks very not because he went for runs. I'm saying, but he looks very flat and easy to
He
score
also
off.
walked
Yeah.
off, right?
Yeah, but that's he doesn't play much,
I
right?
felt that I felt the same thing. I think to be fair, he bowled at a nice pace to get hit, and our problem is going to be the 6th and 7th. The foreign player. Would they go for the batsman? If they go for that extra batsman, it has to be Darren Mitchell because Darren Mitchell could get you an over, between 8 or 10 he could get you 1 over through there. You could either get him through 1 over there or bowl him at 17.
Then the problem is that, see, Kultanen is their fifth bowler. Then they need a very good Indian all-rounder. Because Darren Mitchell
We
can't
haven't
do
got one. That's why I said we shouldn't have gone for Parag. That's why in the auction I said we should have gone for Shivam Dubey.
No, but
Because then
now,
we would have got the left-handed batsman. We would have also
now
got the 2 overs
Or
out of
around
him.
pivot, yeah.
with the current squad, I don't know about Shubham Kharwal and all these guys.
No.
But yeah, I think this is the
We
team
haven't
which
got one in the squad. We haven't got anybody in the squad.
Yeah.
The other option is to bowl Obed McCoy, who's a left-arm quick bowler. He could be the one that they could go to as the
then
fifth
we
bowler,
won't-
but then
that's a
go.
good option.
They'd have to take
Yeah,
to Parag then.
if you get Obed
That would
McCoy
be a
and your
good option.
batting gets a bit less.
But
I think
as I said to you before, if Rajasthan only lose 1 wicket in the power play at six overs, the batting depth there should take them through. If Hetmaier comes in at 14 or 15, then I have no issues with number 7 or 8 coming in for a
let's
couple of overs at the end. So
see,
as I said, the batting lineup, if it stays to form, and our biggest issue has always been we lose 3 wickets in the power play, like KKR did today, and we make it difficult for ourselves. So the biggest issue is now if Padikkal continues to play the way he's playing, we've got Yashashvi who can take the risks, and we've got Butler and Samson. I think we have enough in the tank, to do that.
Anyways, let's
Yeah,
talk about SRH. Pawan, I don't know if you
Yeah,
have.
I think the number 7 is a big question for RR, and I hope they can fix that. I mean, that's the only doubt I have with
It's the only
Rajasthan.
doubt. And the other
It's the
thing,
only
Pavan,
doubt.
is if we get an injury to Bolt or Prasid, then we are in trouble.
I think
but if
Obi-
Prasid gets
McCoy
injured, you
can
have
replace
Navdeep
him.
and Bolt,
I
you
think
have
McCoy
McCoy.
can replace Bolt.
Yeah,
I think
McCoy
there's
can replace
option over
Bolt.
there.
Obviously, not of the same caliber, but
Yeah,
again,
but
you
still,
have a replacement.
that will be a likely replacement. Yeah, but let's go and
Isn't
talk
like
about
Kultanen
SRH.
already injured?
Yeah, but then that's what
You
we
see,
were
the thing is,
discussing
if
about, right?
Kultanen gets injured, then their combination goes for a toss.
Yeah.
Then their
Yeah.
combination to figure out will they get McCoy in, then their batting goes. If they get Rassi in, then they don't have a bowler. So
Yeah.
if at least one of them bowled in the top 5, like a Rana.
That's why we're saying Darian Mitchell should be a good option. Maybe a
No,
number
but then
5 or 6.
Pawan, then you have to give your fifth bowler to Daryl Mitchell and Rian Parag.
Won't you have then 3 spinners?
No,
No, Daryl Mitchell
Darian
is
Mitchell is a fast bowler, medium
Daryl
fast
Mitchell
bowler.
is
no,
medium
no.
fast
But the
bowler.
problem
Parag
is
right
then,
now till Shiny comes. So
the
then let's
problem
not
is where does Navdeep Saini come in place of who?
No, so that's what
Parag.
I'm saying.
Parag.
For Parag,
No, but
yes,
then
then Darian Mitchell bets at 6, then Ashwin can bet at 7. Then we
bro,
have the Saini,
that
Hal,
is a
Bolt, and
very
Krishna.
very brittle batting lineup, short batting lineup.
Well,
I
it's
would-
not as bad. It's not bad as RCB's because theirs is pathetic. Once you get the
Why
top
are
three
you
out,
comparing
there's
with
nothing left.
what is RR and what is RCB? Come on. You can
That's the difference. Well, you got to look at every team, haven't you?
Yeah,
Every
Krishna
team's
is
got a
saying-
weakness. Every
Krishna
every
is a
team's
good
got.
point.
That's
Why
the
not
beauty of
Karun
this.
Nair?
I
He's
feel-
11. He's a fast spinner too. Karun Nair. What about
he
him?
won't bowl, man. Has he bowled?
Yeah.
Yeah, he won't
Has he
bowl.
bowled in the past? I can say 11 years of IPL.
He won't bowl.
I don't think he has
Yeah,
bowled.
I agree. He will never bowl.
But I mean, coming to RCB, I think with the inclusion of Glenn Maxwell, the lineup will be better
Yeah, I agree. I think that
for
that
sure.
issue will be
Because they
sorted.
then
And
have the
Josh
spinner.
Hazlewood-
They have the
Josh
extra
Hazlewood
spinner
will
option
also
with
be a
Maxwell
big,
as well, which
big
will
improvement.
help them. But yeah, as I said, like from us, we've got that one position is that 6 and 7. Do they go with Parag or do they go with Navdeep? And then if they go with Kultanen, I don't think so now. I think they have to go for Rassi or Darren Mitchell. I think that's the combination.
If
Other than
Kultanen
that, we
goes-
have to take the risk and say, look, if we bat first, as long as we don't lose any wickets in the power play, we shouldn't be going to number 7 or 8 because our batting looks that strong.
I just hope, if see, that can be a thing which can be done, I agree. Then you have to back, first of all, you have to back Ashwin, his batting a bit, which I do not know how much you can in T20. Also, I hope, what will that will do? I don't know. That can be an option. But I think that'll make the batsman a bit circumspect and not go as freely, because after 2 quick wickets, and they'll just start playing slowly. Because
That's the issue. That's why I say I'd rather back an extra batsman knowing that you've got a bowler. So again, it all depends on if Saini bowls well. If Saini bowls well, I think that makes up for Parag. But Parag's only been getting scores between 10 and 11 or 10 to 15. He's not been scoring the big scores anyway. So that's why I can say he's more expendable if you put a Rassi van der Dussen or a Mitchell in, who you're expecting to score at least 15 to 20 runs. So you've already got yourself, 10 run buffer
No,
from
I
with the
think
bat. And then it's a
I
question
think
of,
Messi and
with the
Anderson might be a
ball.
better option because their batting, I think, will be the sort of
I
the
think
issue.
Parag should be backed. Parag should be backed as a finisher.
I
Backed
just
on
feel
social
that
media, but not in the game.
I just
No,
feel
no,
Daryl Mitchell
that's
at
how
number 6
SRH.
and
Pawan
Parag at number
SRH.
7 would be the final. I mean, to end this discussion, I feel, we have had this discussion
Yeah, a
very
lot of
long. So I
yeah, we are
think
having this
the
discussion
best
for
option would be, in my opinion, the best option would be Daryl Mitchell at 6. You drop Coulter-Nile out, Daryl Mitchell at 6, Parag at 7.
yeah. Okay. Let's go
Then
to
you've lost
sunrise.
your bowler, and that's the problem because Parag can't bowl. And
Oh,
and you
Daryl
can't
Yeah,
have
but
Mitchell,
three
we
we,
haven't
spinners
played
on
your
these
detail,
wickets.
right?
we already
You
have
can't
4.
have three spinners on that
Anyways,
wicket.
Pawan, let's go to
Unless they're
SRH.
quality.
Yeah, let's go to SRH Paji. Let's argue that
SRH, Varun,
another day.
what are
Yeah,
your thoughts?
if
SRH is
yeah,
one team where you will have a lot of discussions. Rajasthan is still about
and
one
yeah,
spot.
I
SRH
don't
is
know.
about.
We have to talk about Nicholas Puran, and we were just discussing about that before a lot of interruptions happen. But this is really troublesome right now. I mean, Varun. I don't know what to say about Puran. If he keeps on failing like this, I don't know what to say because he did this for Punjab also, and I think he scored around 100 or 120 runs the whole season, and he's come back to that form. Hopefully, he delivers in
What
the
do you
next
mean he's
game.
come back to that form? You saw one match and you already decided he's in that form. Huh? Uh-huh.
One match, we can't judge on one match, but I'm not sure like
Exactly.
this
That's
much.
what
So,
Varun is saying. That's what Varun is saying. Why are you judging on
Uh,
one match?
I
Like how
already said
Rishabh
my
but,
Pant
answer.
got
Move
out
but
for
on to the
one
next
match.
Move on to the next
to that.
question.
It could lead to that performer. It could lead. It could lead to that
He could lead, but you
that
don't know
form.
that, man. Next question. Come on.
See, the biggest flaw I see in the SRH lineup is the lack of Indian experience in the
Mm,
batting. No genuine Indian experience or a cap batter in the
yeah.
Indian,
True.
in the lineup.
Except for Washington Sundar,
Is he
who
a
can lead
batsman?
only for one or
That's
two.
wrong.
Genuine batter, I said,
That's
not a
wrong.
Ah,
bowling all rounder.
But I think they have good. See, I'm just thinking how their team can be structured. And one thing I want Shreyas Gopal in anyhow. So I don't know.
Oh my
see,
God,
Maybe
no.
guys,
I agree with.
on papers.
See,
If he
take out this Abdul Samad and add in Jagadish Suchit, man. I'm
can,
getting tired of
hmm,
Abdul Samad. At least
might
Suchit
true.
be.
can
I
bat and
agree.
he can
I agree.
bowl.
If you do that, if you okay, for instance, you do that,
Mm,
then instead of because then you'll have two left arm spinners. Then
mm.
instead of who do you have in your Indian batting otherwise? Um,
We have a
No, you
domestic
can
batsman
now.
already.
Tom Moody has already suggested Washington Sundar maybe opted to bat high up the order. That's what they are trying to do now.
so that's what I'm saying. See, you how many? See, you have how many batsmen do you have? One, two, three, four, five, six.
It's
You
8
battle.
almost.
You bat so deep.
Mm,
Okay, so I prefer bring in a Shreyas Gopal in place of Abhishek Sharma.
okay.
Get Washington up the order.
Yeah.
Okay, and make him open with Aiden Markram
Or
because I don't
else
know,
probably Aiden Markram and you were opening with whom?
Tripathi.
Washington.
Aiden
Tripathi.
Markram and Sundar.
Instead
To
of a
open.
Sundar, I would
I won't say.
I don't say
instead of
See,
that.
they
Sundar, I
performed
would
in the
rely
middle.
more on
See,
a Tripathi.
Why not?
no,
Why?
they showed how they perform in the middle order. Why to take them both for opening? Just take one
Yeah.
or none.
Okay, then you open with
Aiden Markham should definitely be opening. To be fair, he's a very good player. He's your power player. Your power play.
But to
Stability in the
argue,
power
look at
play.
he's
I think
been
that's
playing
the
so
big
well
thing
at
for
number 4.
SRH. Again, like us at RR, if they can see the power play through, they'll be in a good position with their batting because they got
But
then
Samad.
Paji,
If
then
Samad
you
comes up well,
open.
then they don't have the
Paji,
problem because he can hit the ball.
issue is that Markram is also not opening for South Africa. Is that he's failed at that position opening, which is why they made him to bat at number 4, and that has worked apparently, and it worked for
He's
Punjab
now
also.
playing for number 5
Now,
for South Africa as well, and he performed for us.
No,
yeah,
but Pawan in this.
he doesn't open. He doesn't open much for South Africa. He's only open for
He has good stats
9 or 10
opening.
innings. That's what I'm trying to say.
But the thing
Yeah.
is, see, you have to see what is the problem. What are the gaps they need to fill?
Yeah. So
Are the
why can't
gap
Tripathi open? Tripathi has proved that with Rising Pune
Yeah,
Super
so
Giants before. He's proved it in the past.
So
Why can't
Tripathi with
Tripathi
whom?
open
Tripathi
instead
with
of
whom?
making him bat at
Tripathi
number
with
3?
whom?
Aiden Markram, it seems.
see, Rahul Tripathi can be your one set opener along with either an Aiden Markram or if you're backing Abhishek Sharma.
Yeah, maybe back Abhishek Sharma in
No,
first
no.
match.
The thing is, no. I agree he will play, but I'm saying my team. I rather have a one more quality spinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
completely
that's why
agree.
I'm
Yeah.
saying
Very
because you
sure.
have enough batting, so you get a
And
good.
that is not Shreyas Gopal. Honestly, for somebody who's watched Shreyas Gopal performs against RCB. If you're
I
playing
agree.
RCB, play him. Other than that, don't
Still,
play him at all.
I agree. I agree.
but then
With
okay, if you don't
Rahul
want Suresh
Gopal.
Gopal, you get otherwise who are the options? I
No,
think Suresh
Suchit is
Gopal.
there. Suchit
Suchit.
has performed. Suchit has
Suchit.
performed before.
No, but Varun has a good point. Even Suchit can be used in place of Samad as a finisher.
Ah.
But
Yeah.
I
Samad, I
mean,
think they will. They will.
it looks a
Pawan,
bit
put
funny
their
to
playing
me
11. Put
about
their
flickers.
last time playing 11. Pawan. Last match is playing
I mean,
11.
SRH
Abhishek
playing well.
Sharma, Kane Williamson, Rahul Tripathi, Puran, Markram, Samad, Washington, Shepherd,
SRH.
Bhuvi, Nattu, Malik. There you go.
See,
Yeah.
Nattu, Bhuvi, Natrajan. You don't interfere. It is fine.
Bhuvi Natarajan for sure. Yeah.
Bhuvi,
Yeah.
Natrajan, and Nattu also is fine. One bad match, but it's okay.
Nattu is
Uh,
Natarajan only.
then you have Sundar. You will play him.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
who were the 4 overseas players? I mean, Markram, Puran,
Markram,
Markram,
Kane,
Romario, Puran.
Shepherd, and
3, I think they had.
No,
no.
4.
Haruki.
4.
No, 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 no. They had 4.
Markram,
Williamson,
Puran,
Markram,
Williamson,
Puran,
and
there it
Shepherd.
is.
Shepard.
Williamson.
Shepard, yeah.
Yeah, 4,
Yeah,
no?
So
thing is,
see,
Haruki could be
I
what
tested.
if
think yeah.
Shepherd
Haruki
can
could
bat
be
at
tested.
7?
It could be a risk. Haruki
What?
could be
For what?
tested.
For what?
No, wait. Let's figure this out. Shepherd can be like an Odin Smith, I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay. So if Shepherd, see, 8, 9, 10, 11 is Nattu Bhuvi and Umran Malik.
Malik. Mm.
Okay.
Hmm.
If Gopal's at 8,
Mm.
hypothetically. So
Mhm.
7, 8, 9, 10 bowlers are fixed. Now you
Yeah.
go on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. You have one okay finisher in the Shepherd. Okay. I think Williamson should be at 3. I think we agree on that.
Yes.
He is the one in the middle.
Yeah.
Then Puran's at 4, obviously. Puran has to be at 4. Now it is 5, 6, and 1, 2. Okay. Samad at 6. Okay, let's give him some chances. Samad at 6.
Already given how many chances, Ayush?
No,
How many?
now.
Pawan,
I
stop
don't know why he
stealing
was
words from
retained.
my mouth.
I don't know why he was retained by SRH in the first place, Abdul
No,
Samad.
fair enough. You give him. So now you have the openers and you have number 5. And you have to fit in 3 players,
Why
which
not
is.
if Sama's playing, why not give him an opening chance?
No.
Yeah, yeah,
See.
maybe. Yes, I
1,
agree
2.
with Varun.
No, now you guys
I
tell me
agree
you
with
have
Varun.
1, 2, and 5 left. And the players you have are Tripathi, Markram, and one
Washington.
and Washington. So now where do you play these guys?
So from these 3, obviously Tripathi and Markram, I would say opening and Sundar at 5.
I would actually say क्या बोलते हैं
Floater, Markram.
number 6 पे कौन था Samad. Thing is that Samad and Shepherd become very very.
Krishna has an interesting playing 11, by the way. He has said Samad, Sundar, Puran, Williamson, Tripathi, Markram, floater meanwhile. Shepherd, Suchit,
Samad and
Bhuvi,
Sundar are
Umran,
very weak,
Natarajan.
na.
Samarth. See, let's see how Abhishek Sharma does, and then
To
we
be
can
fair,
call out any
I
other
think
one.
they have to play. I agree with Pawan. They have to play Markram at 5. Otherwise, they don't have a
Hmm.
decent team. Otherwise, you have to play
I
him.
agree.
You
I
have to
agree.
play him. And the thing is, in Mumbai, the thing is, it's not that he will get stuck in the middle. It's a good pitch, anyways, and he can go
I
from
think
ball
the
one.
biggest issue over here is Abhishek Sharma, I would say, because I
And I
can see
think
I don't have
Markram.
him in the team. That's what I'm saying.
Glenn Phillips is also a good option. He can play a swinging
So
balls
you
as well.
can
That's
you
what
can
happens in New Zealand conditions
But he
as well.
doesn't play spin at all. I mean, he performs
Uh,
poor against spin. So I would say probably Markram at 4 and Puran at 5. Like at
Yeah,
5,
I
Puran would come in at somewhere
agree.
around 11 or 12th over, ideally
yeah.
11 or 12. So Puran at 5 would be a better option in my opinion. And Markram
okay.
at 4
Yeah,
would
I
be
agree with that. Put it at 5.
Maybe that can be done. 4, 5, and then you open with a Sundar and Tripathi.
Yeah.
I think the opening payoff SRH is the biggest headache, I think, since
That is the
2013.
headache.
I think
These
Sundar and
idiots
Tripathi is
have
not a bad option to be fair,
completely
because
wasted their money on openers. Now they did not even bother.
Sundar has opened in the TNPL. I'm not saying TNPL is
He is
IPL.
opening for Tamil Nadu as well.
Yeah. So why not if you can make, see, although Abhishek Sharma opens regularly, if you can make,
I mean, Sundar has kind of failed for RCB as an opener in 1 or 2 matches, whatever he
One
played
game.
for RCB.
One game.
Yeah. So you never, I mean,
but okay,
like,
if the current team thing goes, then I think you open with Tripathi and Abhishek Sharma,
sure.
and then you
I
just put
think Sundar
Romario.
can even bat at number 6.
At least
I
for
think that
this, at least a couple of more matches, I would say they would back Abhishek Sharma.
Yeah, they will for
At
sure. They
least a
will for
couple of
sure.
matches.
I think
And
I
as an
Tripathi.
think I
opener.
think I think it's good to go with Tripathi and Abhishek Sharma for now and see how Abhishek Sharma does for the next few matches. And Kane at 3. I think that's a good solid 3 for now, top 3 for now. Make Tripathi open.
Yeah,
I
Markram
don't know why
has
he's
to.
betting at number 3.
Yeah,
And then
So the
Markram at number
lineup,
4. Markram at number 4.
Yeah. See,
yeah. So
that
the
becomes a
lineup
very
Wait,
is something
solid
like
middle
Rahul
order.
wait for
Tripathi and
Puran because
Abhishek
Puran is
Sharma.
Williamson,
struggling. Puran is struggling.
Williamson.
I don't know the place why Puran is batting at number 4. He should be batting at number 5, and in that case, he could be a finisher also for SRH.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
mean,
I'm
Yes.
looking
saying
at
right
their
now.
options, Sean Abbott.
I don't
mm,
think they'll change the overseas.
Sean Abbott,
I don't
Marco
think they'll change the
Jansen,
overseas.
Fazil Haq Faruqi.
No, I
So
don't think they'll change for Romario Shepherd. Romario Shepherd is settled. I wouldn't change Romario Shepherd's position over here in the SRH
He bowled
playing
well
11.
too, other than the last over,
I'm just
against
seeing
Tata.
if
He
they can
bowled
have
well.
any other combination anyhow.
I think the
ideally we are
overseas
thinking
options are
about.
settled. I think the overseas options are settled. I think it's the Indian players only. That's the question mark over there with SRH Paji. Don't you think?
Yeah, it's the Indian battings. The Indian battings the problem is that so the bowling is fine. The spin options they've got, they could even bring Kartik Tyagi in. They
He's
could
not
easily
here yet.
yeah. To be fair, as I say, Kartik Tyagi might give them that extra assurance if Bhuvi or Natranjan gets injured. You've got
What
Kartik
if?
Tyagi in the wings, which is a good option. But then you got also the extra spinner in Shreyas Gopal, who I'm not sure.
Guys,
Priyam Garg, who has not performed
yes,
ever for Sunrisers. You
that's true.
can't trust him. So it's the Indian batting is their problem. And I think Purin at 5, Markram at 4, Kane at 3, that sorts itself out. Then you have to bat Tripathi up top. So and who
Abhishek
with
Sharma will have to
Washington
bat. I
or
don't know how.
Abdo Samad, one of them has to bat up with him. I think Sharma, Abhishek Sharma is too young and inexperienced at this level to bat at the top.
Yeah,
I
but the
rather
thing is,
have.
people are saying he's young and inexperienced, but Sunrisers Hyderabad vice captain. So what's to be done? So why
No,
they
you
don't?
should play him. That's what I say. You
Not
have to
dropping
play
now.
Guys,
him at 6 or 7.
what if you do one thing? Okay, I know this is a very bold move. What if you drop Abdul Samad? Okay.
I'm
Okay,
already liking it.
You drop Abdul Samad,
get
you
switches.
drop Romario Shepherd, okay,
Okay.
and you get Glenn Phillips, and Kartik Tyagi.
Then you lose your bowling option.
No, you get Glenn Phillips and Kartik Tyagi. Anyways,
Tyagi is not at the camp yet.
whenever he comes, whatever,
There you
if
go.
you get Kartik Tyagi and Glenn Phillips, then what happens is then you can open. You have batting till 7, which I think is good enough for a T20 team. Then you
Yeah.
can open with Markram and then have a Phillips to finish the game also.
But no overseas bowling, no. That's the another issue
So
with
how many
So
SRH.
overseas do
what's
you
the
have
big
now?
deal of
How
overseas
does it matter?
bowlers?
Do you think Kartik Tyagi and Romario Shepherd will have a lot of difference in their bowling?
Okay, so
I mean, Romario Shepherd, it's a tough call.
That's what I'm saying.
Romario
His
Shepherd can be a
batting.
finisher
That's what I'm
also.
saying. His batting is not that needed. So if you want, I'm saying later on maybe if you don't trust your lower order hitting, if you don't trust a
But
Samad,
Washington Sundar, you can't expect him all the time to perform like what he did today. It's just like what you
no,
were
see,
mentioning
bro,
on.
Sundar to is there anyways. Now that's what I'm saying. That gives more impetus to my argument. That if you don't trust Sundar and somebody is young, then you get a Glenn Phillips, you open with Makram, and then you have a Kartik Tyagi in place of. Although that absolutely after 7 your batting just goes. That is what it does.
Yeah, maybe Markram for Phillips.
But I
No,
feel
No.
that. But I feel
You
Phillips is
won't
being.
drop Markham. You
you
won't
need
drop
to
Markham.
you need to
Yeah.
Yeah,
add on your
I
options.
feel if Phillips is coming into the playing
I
11,
think
will be
Phillips is coming
probably
for
in place
Puran.
of Puran.
I think Phillips might have
Yeah,
to come for
probably.
Puran.
No, no, bro.
See that
Puran will
happening.
If
play.
Puran
Puran will
doesn't
play,
perform, he's an
and
automatic replacement.
what I'm talking about now.
If Puran
Let's
is
talk
not
about different
performing,
combinations.
Puran is
Let's talk
not
about
performing for 2 or more games, I think it's better to drop him and bring in Glenn
not two
Phillips.
more power, not two more games, man. At least give him
We
5 6
spent 10
games.
crores on him, Pawan.
You spend, yeah, spending 10 crores, and if he's not performing, if he's continuing to perform like this for single digits, they must
Bro,
point.
listen, everybody failed in that match. Even Kane failed. Everybody failed. Okay, that was just a different level of bowling altogether. So it's fine. It happens. But I think they should mm, uh, put at least Williamson at 3, Puran at
So
5. Puran has to be at 5 based on the current team.
yeah, so
And
what I'm suggesting is probably open with Rahul Tripathi and Abhishek Sharma.
yeah,
Continue with
okay.
like backing
Let,
Sharma.
let's
So Rahul
test this
Tripathi
both
and Abhishek
Yeah,
Sharma
that's
are
what
your
even I'm saying. Yeah, that's what even I'm saying.
yeah. Number 3 is Williamson. Number 4 is Markram.
Yeah,
Number
exactly.
5 is Puran.
Hmm.
Number 6 you can have either an Abdul Samad or a Jay Suchit. Suchit
Let's
I
have
am
Samad for now. Let's have Samad because he's
yeah, I
playing.
mean, I'm just saying like almost a kind of a like to like replacement because the way we have seen Suchit bat and he'll give you a decent number of
Give you
overs
a
as well.
bowling option also. Yeah, correct.
But I don't know why Crickbuzz is showing Shreyas Gopal. Crickbuzz is showing Shreyas Gopal as a bowling all rounder and Jay Suchit as a bowler.
No, Chao go that way.
Let's not go too deep on
Because
Saraj Gopal. We'll
Gopal
talk
does
about
bad.
Gopal
Gopal does
later.
bad.
We
Yeah,
know
so number
Gopal's
6 is your Suchit or
capabilities.
number 6 is your Suchit or Abdul Samad. Number 7 will be your Sundar or Shepherd based on the lineup. Number 7 and 8 is your Shepherd and Sundar, basically 7 and 8.
Mm.
And the
9,
9
10,
and
11
11
is
for
your
Sandeep also.
Bhuvi, Natarajan and Malik, or maybe
Yeah.
if you're removing Shepherd as a batter, let's say your batting ends with Sundar at 7. Instead of a Shepherd, you can get in a Marco Jansen for
So I
your
think this is
pace.
a good team. This is a good team. Again, obviously, again if they perform, but yeah, I think those are the
Let's
changes
see
they need
how
to make.
SRH perform
I don't
in
know.
the next game. Yeah.
I don't know why to open with Williamson in the first place. There's no
Exactly. That's what I
Power.
told
What do
the
you
He's the
think?
first time when I
captain.
came on
Someone,
screen
He's
as
the
well.
what do you
captain.
think
So I don't know what's
must have
the
been the
case on
logic?
that.
What?
Which reminds me again, Pavan, I think you're watching a lot of matrimony or something.
What?
You're again watching your matrimony, Pawan.
Sri Lankan matrimony.
What about
Yes,
movie?
cricket bro.
Sorry. Why? Sitansu
Sorry,
came
man.
back again,
What
man. I
Pawan?
don't know.
Pawan, one thing,
You
Pawan.
want a bride bound now?
Pawan, what are your thoughts on Umran Malik? Impressed?
Bro, I was trying to switch on that topic. I mean, from SRH match because I mean this is taking too long, and yeah, I need to end soon also. So we'll quickly switch on the Lucknow versus CSK game. Just predictions. Who will
Oh
win
my god.
this match? I'm going with CSK. I think CSK. I think all four might go with CSK. I think perhaps.
Okay, Lucknow. Any changes to both teams?
No.
I think if Moin Ali is free,
Moin Ali
is
can
Oh,
play
available,
for
Moin
both
I
Ali.
will
happy
play
Moin
for
Ali.
Moin Ali.
Moin Ali will be back, I think.
But then
For which
in
of
place
Santner?
of whom? In
Moin
place
Ali
of
is
whom?
available
Santner,
tomorrow. So
Santner,
I think
Santner.
Moin Ali for Santner. I see
What
Moin
if
Ali for Santner
what if
happening.
Moin Ali for Conway?
Nah.
No, not Conway.
Why you need two spinners? Overseas
But
spinners, that too.
Is anyone free for this one? I'm Lucknow, by the way. Any foreign players? Because
Is
KSL
Holder back?
Holder. No, I
Is
don't
Holder
think
or
so.
Stoinis
Even if
back?
Holder was back, I think he will have to quarantine.
No, I don't think so. For
Yeah,
He
Holder
has
and
to
Lucknow,
go
Stoinis are going to
quarantine.
come back, I think.
If Holder's back, then he comes in place of Ayush Badoni.
for
Why?
Lucknow,
Um,
for Lucknow,
Because
I
Varun,
think
there
I'm
is no
going to
other
bring in
option now.
Rajput. I'm
no.
going to bring I'm
Holder
going to
will
bring
come.
Rajput for Mohsin Khan. I'm going to make
Holder
that
will
change.
come in for Mohsin Khan, I think. Yeah.
Mohsin
Holder
Khan.
would come in for Mohsin Khan.
Did Lucknow
No,
only play with three
For
overseas?
tomorrow's match itself, I'm going to change Mohsin Khan because he was not impressive in the first game. I
Guys,
think Rajput should be
guys,
brought back.
tomorrow you also have Andrew Tai. So Andrew Tai will also come in place of Mohsin Khan, na?
But
I mean,
If
then
if
they go with
Holder
the
if
overseas.
Holder and Ty are available, then Holder comes for Ayush, and मोहसिन खान की जगह आता है एंड्रू टाई.
Then you will be having five
Maybe Andrew
overseas.
Ty could be brought in.
How do you
Maybe
have
Then
five
you will
Andrew Ty
have
should
five
overseas?
have
overseas,
stepped out.
now.
They
No,
play
they
with
went
three.
to overseas yesterday,
Ah.
sorry, on Monday. So then they can bring
So
in Andrew Ty.
Holder will come in place for Evan Lewis, not Badoni.
Evan Lewis,
Yeah, but
sorry.
Hold is not free, no, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
He's not come yet, no. So, I mean, for tomorrow's match, I think Ty could be option with Chamira. Perhaps that could be a
You
move.
have Chamira also, na?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying when you were
But
saying
so
that.
when Stoinis comes, then either Chamira or Ty goes.
Yeah.
One of them has to go.
So that's what when you were saying that instead of Badoni, you're getting in Holder and
No, see,
getting tie in place
Badoni
of
has to
Mohsin Khan. I was
make
like
way
five
for
overseas
Stoinis.
players.
Badoni has to make way for Stoinis later on.
I think Badoni should
Badoni,
stay, in my opinion. I think
Badoni,
he's a
I don't
very
know.
good.
I mean, I feel he would still
I think
stay.
Manish
He
Pandey
would he
could
would
be could be
occupy a
dropped.
good
Manish
position for
Pandey
another
is a
player.
backbench
See,
person, man, because
no,
Manish
no,
Pandey
Manish
doesn't
Pandey.
perform.
See, Evan Lewis, Manish Pandey, Deepak Huda, Runal Pandya. Okay, you have to add a Stoinis there
See,
somehow.
Manish Pandey would be their first choice number three batter, to be
Definitely.
honest.
Hmm.
Maybe first choice,
Because
but he's
Evan
That's the
Lewis is a
problem. That's the big problem. I don't
because
trust him.
Evan Lewis is a genuine
it's
opener.
serious problem. Even Sarek had that problem. That's why they made him play in the bench. Manish Pandey. He only played for 1 or 2 matches.
But Chamira, I'm looking for. By the way, where is the match tomorrow?
Brabant.
Blackboard.
Yeah.
Is it where we got 200 RCB?
I think so.
No, I think it was DY Patil.
I think Devin Lewis can better three. I think I'll rather stick with the
Why,
top three.
Yeah,
man?
for
Why
tomorrow,
you
though,
desperately want Evan Lewis?
for tomorrow, Devin Lewis has to play. One change they can do is and to tie for Mohsin Khan.
Yeah, I think that could be a change. Yes, I agree also
Yeah.
on that.
And for
Yeah.
CSK, Moin Ali will come.
Hmm.
I
I
think
won't
for
make changes for CSK. I think it's a
and Moin
compliment.
Ali, you won't play.
I don't think they'll give a chance to Tishan. I don't see that happening
Are
actually.
what am I saying? I'm saying Moin Ali, not Theekshana.
Yeah, I know. So I know it's Moin Ali for Santa, but I'm saying about the other overseas options. I
Where
mean,
does
and
Moin
But
Ali
you want
bat?
Tikshana in? He's as good as
Duet
Moin Ali
Pawan
now.
wants all.
He's as good
Pawan
as
wants.
Moin Ali.
Pawan wants
huh?
all the Sri Lankan players to play in IPL.
Um,
Oh, to be fair, Sri Lankan players are doing
This is
well.
Lanka
But
Premier
they
League
are doing
once
well,
and for
yeah,
all.
exactly. Like Chamira
Bhanuka,
bowled really well.
Bhanuka, though, I'm telling you, na, Bhanuka has become the Sri Lankan Prime Minister after the innings.
Let's see. Let's not go too deep on Bhanuka yet. We never know when the downfall will begin. So let's
But
not go
I
too
just
deep
okay. What
on
are the
Bhanuka.
matchups you feel tomorrow are critical? I feel um Dushman.
Chamira versus Uttapa might be interesting.
Including Sri Lankan players here also.
Huh?
Aha. Aha.
I would say
You
Who
the
always
else?
want Sri Lankans, huh?
MS
Don't be
Dhoni
biased.
against MS Dhoni against Krunal will be interesting. Another matchup.
Why MS
Yeah,
I
against
yeah. How
Krunal?
he plays.
Why?
I would
How he
say I would
plays.
MS
say
Dhoni
the
will smash him. MS Dhoni will smash around 20 or 25. Or
Bro,
Krunal
MS
gets the
Dhoni
wicket
can't
like
hit.
his brother.
Bro, MS
So
Dhoni has
I can see
forgotten
that
how
build
to
up.
play spin. MS Dhoni doesn't
I would
remember how.
say I would say tomorrow's contest would be LSG Pacers versus CSK top order and CSK spin versus LSG middle order.
So guys, any change on the CSK bowling? Any place for Hunger Gaker?
Nah.
No.
Maybe in place of
The only
Dubé,
change
if at
they'll
all.
make
Few
is that
Yes.
plays,
overseas change.
Dubé can be dropped because they bat Bravo at 9. You do not need such batting depth,
Exactly.
right? So,
Yeah.
but I don't think
But
they'll be
then why did
dropping.
they spend 4 crores for something on Shivam
Arey,
Dubey?
yeah, again
See,
you're
you're,
saying
you
4
guys are
crores,
saying
10
they'll give
crores.
Pooran,
See,
I
and
don't
Pawan,
think
give
MS
Samad more
Dhoni.
chances.
Pawan,
Abhishek
We
Sharma
see
more
Ravindra
chances.
Jadeja
Popo,
captaining, but MS Dhoni is making the selections in the squad. So I
Pawan,
don't see
Pawan,
that
Pawan,
Pawan,
happening.
Pawan,
Popo,
why are you
Popo,
yelling,
listen,
man? Why are you yelling? Why are you
Popo,
yelling?
Popo, listen. I'm saying one thing which Harsha Bogle also says that in the auction,
Uh,
if it's 10 crore is different. Whatever happens should be left at the auction because
yeah,
at the auction sometimes the prices go up, right?
I
So
don't
it
know,
doesn't
man.
mean that you have to play if you have paid a large sum of money. Like if you remember when Mumbai Indians had got Maxwell for $1 million, way back in 2013 when they had played 7. They didn't play him.
Hey, this is not an example. Just take recent example. Krishnappa Gautam CSK. Sniped
Yeah,
him like
yeah,
this.
Nice.
yeah, yeah, exactly. They didn't play a single match.
Now it's in
And now
Lucknow
he's
Super Giants in the
now
playing
he's with
level.
Lucknow for 90 lakhs, I think.
What a dip.
Oh God.
Yeah, that may be why Lucknow is losing also at the same time.
Why?
How is that a logic,
How
Pawan?
the hell, Pawan?
Who
What
knows?
is
That could
Pawan,
be
that
luck.
also needs
That
to
could
no?
be
That
luck.
also needs to be connected to Sri Lanka or what now?
Arey
I'm
bro,
telling you, Pawan
how
is
is
sleepy
wait,
right
wait,
now.
wait, let me ask, what is the logic behind that statement, Pawan?
But
Logic is Pawan is sleepy right now. He just wants to sleep and end the stream.
No, no, no.
that could be
And
one
He
and
case.
wakes up,
Yeah,
he'll dance with
by
Chamira.
by the way, KM Asif for Tushar Deshpande maybe?
no. I think this
They
should be.
won't make Tushar Deshpande for KM Asif is not a big change, so they can go with it.
It's not going to be
Yeah.
I
a
mean, it's
big
more of a like to like,
change.
but it's just one game again. So,
Mm.
I mean, it's just one game. So, like to like is fine,
Yeah.
but I just
Let's
Also,
think
see
it
as
Did
would.
one.
the matches
Tushar perform
progress.
decently or not that great?
Do you think MS should come up the order?
Depends on the
They have
situation, to
that
be
much
honest.
batting depth. Why does MSD need to come up the order?
I'm
It
asking
completely
because
depends on the
MSD looks
situation,
in
I
good
guess.
form. And I think Moeen Ali should play at 4, Uthappa at 3.